Wasserman Schultz.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I urge the House to take meaningful action to address the public health crisis that the Centers for Disease Control recently called scarier than we originally thought, and support the President's request for supplemental funding for the Zika virus as outlined in H.R. 5044, the FY16 Zika supplemental appropriations. I thank my Appropriations Ranking Member Nita Lowey and Labor HHS Subcommittee Ranking Member DeLauro for their ongoing leadership to help protect our constituents. More than 120 Floridians now have the Zika virus, including 36 pregnant women. Last week, there were an estimated 157 pregnant women in the continental United States and 122 more in the territories who have contracted Zika. The House must take real action to protect our citizens. It is an outrage that we are not adequately responding to the calls of public health officials at the federal, state, and local levels who are clanging the alarm bells, imploring Congress to act. Last week, the House approved a Zika bill that is absolutely unacceptable. The bill the House passed would raid existing public health accounts, a dangerous precedent to set for appropriately responding to public health crises. This is an approach that Dr. Fauci of the National Institutes of Health, the so-called Zika czar, has called illogical. Furthermore, it only authorizes use of funds through September 30th. Let me assure you that mosquitoes carrying the Zika virus do not adhere to a congressional calendar. The Republican bill does nothing to specifically help Puerto Rico, where Zika is wreaking the most havoc and where close to 1,000 people have been infected. We need more funds now to equip our local health centers with testing kits. We need to assure the National Institutes of Health that have sustained funding to develop a vaccine, as well as a cure. And we need to protect our constituents. That is our responsibility. It continues to baffle and frustrate so many of us that the majority wishes to address this crisis, this public health crisis, by combating Zika through robbing Peter to pay Paul. That is irresponsible, it's immoral, and the majority will have to look in the eyes of the mothers who have contracted the Zika virus beyond the point at which we will have lost control of the ability to contain this virus and this public health crisis. Look those mothers in the eye and explain why they did nothing to ensure that their babies were not born with birth defects. It's unconscionable, and we need to act now. And I urge the House to support the full request for funds and vote no on the previous question.
The gentlewoman yields back. The gentleman from Oklahoma is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I yield myself.